Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. In today's video, we are going to talk about something really important, which is money. When I say money, I'm not referring to investment strategies or financial products because I'm definitely not one of those certified financial advisors out there who are trying to sell you things. The reason why I'm making today's video is because I received a lot of requests from people who are planning to move to Singapore for work, school, whatever reasons, and trying to understand more about cost of living in Singapore, as well as people who are just curious about how other people manage their personal finances in general. But before I dive into my spending in specific categories, I just want to give you guys some context about myself. My name is Adrian. I graduated from Northwestern University and relocated from the States to Singapore a couple months ago. Currently, I'm working full-time as a digital marketer and doing content creation as my interest. I'm 22 years old, and when it comes to spending, I do have certain priorities which I'll discuss in greater detail later in the video, but I also make sure to cut back on spending in certain categories that don't matter that much to me. And just a disclaimer that spending and saving habits are very personal things and may not be the same for everyone. You may watch videos from a lot of different people sharing about how they spend their money, but always take it with a grain of salt and consider your own preferences when creating your budget. So yeah, let's talk about the first category, that is housing. Rent is commonly one of the largest living expenses for most people, I would say. So is the case for me. The place I'm living in right now is a co-living space, which is a relatively new form of accommodation that typically consists of several bedrooms connected by communal spaces such as kitchen and the living area. It's usually managed by an agency that has a bunch of properties under the management. For my place, I pay 1,500 Singaporean dollar per month that is inclusive of utilities, free Wi-Fi, and cleaning services. Honestly speaking, I think my rent is definitely on the higher end, but I chose this room for several reasons. First of all, the room is very spacious. It's around 200 square feet with a queen-size bed. It's fully furnished, so I don't have to purchase anything when I moved in. The location is pretty central and within walking distance to several bus stops and MRT stations. I was also able to sign a shorter lease, which gives me more flexibility. However, I do have quite a few friends who stay in a similar condo room for a slightly cheaper price. If you're willing to commit to a one-year lease, which is more normal, and if you're okay with staying a little bit further away from the central area, you could easily get a common bedroom for 1,000 Singaporean dollars or a master bedroom for 12 to 1,400. And if you want to go for an HDB room, you could be paying around 6 to 800. So how much you spend on housing really depends on your specific needs. In my case, I chose this room even though it's a little bit more expensive because right now I'm mainly working from home and I want to make sure I have a nice working environment. In addition, I have to film my YouTube content, so the ideal room needs to receive enough sunlight and has large storage space where I can store my equipment. Okay, let's talk about the favorite part of my life, food. Actually, when I saw the bank statement of my first month in Singapore, I was fairly surprised by how much I spent on food. Because throughout my 4 months in Singapore, I've only been to one kind of fancy restaurant, which is not even fine dining. You know, it was just a special occasion, and I spent around $50. For the rest of my time in Singapore, I rarely had any meals that cost me more than $20. But then I realized even though I don't eat expensive food, I eat a lot of food. Maybe my metabolism is just too good and I'm always feeling hungry. So on a weekday, I'll grab breakfast at a local bakery or places like Ya Kun or Toastbox, which usually cost me $3-4, and then I'll go work out. After which I feel hungry again and have to get some high protein food, so like tuna sandwich or chicken breast from 7-Eleven on my way home. For lunch, I will either use Grab self pickup, which has 25% off discount, or go to a local hawker center and dabao cai fan, which is another $4 to $7. I finish my lunch break, get back to work, and around 4 or 5 p.m. I'll feel hungry again, so I'll cut myself some fresh fruits or drink some yogurt. Another $2. And then for dinner, I'll go to a food court and order a couple of dishes to share with my friend. We both have great appetite, so after we split the bill, there'll still be around $8 per person. If you do the math, that'll be around $20 in total on a typical workday. Over the weekend, I'll be a little bit more flexible with my budget because I want to reward myself after a busy week of work. So I'll go to a cafe for brunch and catch up with my friends, and sometimes we'll go to a restaurant for lunch or dinner. On average, I would say I spend around $70 in total on food over the entire weekend. And then let's calculate the total monthly cost. So $20 per weekday times 22 weekdays, which gives us $440, and $70 over the weekend times 4 weekends, which is $280. So the total cost will be around $700. But as I said earlier, part of the reason is that I am very active in sports and I'm constantly feeling hungry. So if you're like most people who don't need to eat 5 meals per day, you can definitely save more money on that. One thing I love most about Singapore is its amazing public transportation system. It's always super clean and won't get delayed for like 20-30 minutes every now and then as in Chicago or New York City. Also, one bonus point for all the double-deck buses out there who have become one of my best companies whenever I feel like wandering around Singapore. I'll just hop on the bus, take the front seat on the upper deck and sightsee the country. Unless you're going from one end to the other end of Singapore, most bus rides will cost around $1 to $2. And if you don't want to worry about getting stuck in traffic, you can also take the MRT, which is the subway/train system in Singapore. The trains are fast and clean, especially the Thomson East Coast line, which just opened fairly recently. I've been to a couple stations and the architecture is just mind-blowing. For most MRT rides, it's usually between $1 and $2, so even for someone like me who just loves going places during my free time, I only spend $100 maximum on transportation per month. But if you don't like public transport and decide to take Grab or Gojek, which are two major ride-hailing services in Singapore, you may end up spending more. Grab and Gojek have special discounts or coupons that you can use during specific times of the day, so you should expect to pay $10 to $20 for each ride depending on the distance. It may not seem a lot, but still adds up to quite some money if you do it frequently. What I said in the first part of this video are mainly things that matter a lot to me, so I'm willing to invest more. But when it comes to clothes, shoes, or things to wear, I'm more than happy to spend as little as possible. Throughout my whole life, I never own any fancy clothes, not to mention designer brands. As long as it looks clean and put together, I'm totally okay with repeating outfits. So as you might have noticed in my previous videos, I always wear a mono-colored t-shirt with my black or white shorts and a pair of sneakers. I'm also a frequent shopper of one of the most popular brands among Singaporean men, Uniqlo, where I can get a simple t-shirt for less than $10. And last week, I got a pair of blue sneakers from one of the stores in Suntec City for $9, and I'm very happy with my purchase. Oh, another thing is that since the weather doesn't change that much throughout the year, you don't have to refresh your wardrobe to follow the seasonal trend. So yeah, I spend $50 or less per month on clothes. In addition to the necessities, I also allocate a certain amount of budget to recreational activities. Even though people say Singapore is small, there is still a lot of fun stuff and hidden gems to explore during your free time. Over the weekend, I love going to museums and art galleries. A lot of them actually offer free admission to Singaporeans and PRs, but even for foreigners, the tickets are also very affordable. Yeah, I think the typical range is like $10 to $20, and you can spend the whole day in these beautifully designed buildings to enjoy some nicely curated exhibitions. On the other hand, since I'm a huge fitness lover, I signed up for a gym membership which costs me around 100 Singaporean dollars per month. It allows me to access different branches under the brand and take group exercise classes. If I were to add everything together, I would say $200 is how much I spend on recreational activities per month. Okay, let's move on to the last category I'm going to discuss in today's video, which includes all subscription plans I have at the moment. The first thing is phone plan. The carrier I'm using right now is M1. I pay less than $20 per month, which gives me access to 30 gigabytes of mobile data, 1,000 minutes of talk time, and 1,000 SMS, which I barely used. In addition, I pay around $30 for other Adobe softwares including Lightroom, Photoshop, and Premiere, which I use to edit my photos and videos. Another $15 goes to Canva, which is a powerful graphic design platform which I use to create thumbnails and other visual elements. I also spend $20 on Epidemic Sound, which is where I got most of my copyright-free music to be used in my videos. And if you're interested in trying out, please make sure to use the referral link down below in the video description. So let's see, it's $20 plus 30 plus 15 plus 20, that's $85 in total that I pay for all these subscription services. Just as I mentioned in the beginning of today's video, how you manage your personal finances really depends on your financial goals, lifestyle preferences, and a lot of other factors. I hope that this video provides you with another perspective that helps you evaluate your personal finances and spending habits. But do take it with a grain of salt and always customize your own budget plan based on your specific needs. And yeah, that's pretty much it for today's video. And please remember to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel if you haven't done so already. And I will see you guys soon in the next video. Bye!